up, y'all? You got me as a host tonight, so we're gonna improv the shit out of this. This doesn't feel the heat, but it's close. Welcome to the Clutch Corner. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah, good, great.
I told y'all you're gonna have to carry this, okay? I'm coming off happy hour. Got some Sav in me. I don't usually host. Royal passed the baton awkwardly, so we're here now.
But a little bit more energy, more like royal energy, like
No, Michael was already giving me shit about this on the phone 40 minutes before I jumped on here, so I don't need to hear it from Ollie. Adam can bring the energy tonight. New location.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah. Totally. No one else want to try?
Go, TJ.
With the energy?
Yeah, go. Give us your best intro energy.
Intro energy.
Like you walk into a room. What are you going? What is your what's your calling card here?
What's my go-to when I walk in a room? Hello. And so that's polite. About it.
Don't lie. You go, sign me up.
Just walk in a room and announce, sign me up. That's the go-to. Okay. I guess it will be today. I need to change my Twitter handle to sign me up.
I mean, Simba, we know what you walk into a room saying, so.
What do I say?
The boy feeling good?
Oh, I actually don't say that walk into a room,
Well, maybe you should. We also need t-shirts, so I don't know what we're doing. We could have capitalized off this a long time ago. We're waiting on Ethan J. Skolnick, in other words. I'm going to try and move us along to Heat stuff, but let's be fully honest. There's not a whole lot to talk about. Michael and I struggled through an episode of Feel the Heat. We're going to do the same tonight. We can start with Garrett, though. Thoughts? Signed him to a 2-way contract. Happy, not happy. Doesn't matter.
It's about time. Everybody pretty much felt like it was going to happen. It just took a while to get there, but now we're finally here, and they announced it. So great. Welcome to the squad. So
yeah, I feel like it was Heat Twitter probably would have cried if we didn't end up signing him mainly.
Heat Twitter cries over anything though.
Yeah, but they've been dying for this signing to happen. Like it's going to change the actual structure of the Heat. It's a whatever signing, to be honest. Like I'm not expecting much out of it. To like how many minutes can he possibly be playing?
That is an Adam question, in fact.
Yeah, hold on. Do you not recall Gabe Vincent and whoever else playing half of our games this year?
Yeah, but that was due to injuries, COVID, plus
COVID go away.
We got vaccines now.
Did it go away?
He has a point.
But we got vaccines now.
We got vaccines, and the league is cracking down according to stuff coming out today.
Yeah.
Did the injuries go away?
We got vaccines.
Did you come on here to be Debbie Downer tonight? Is that what we're getting out of you? You can leave, sir.
I'm saying that they're going to play a lot.
Well, that's my question. Where do you see him fitting in? Go ahead.
I honestly they still don't have a backup point. It's that simple, and they can't run a 9-man rotation or 8-man rotation throughout the season. So Marcus Garrett is going to find time to play, and I think it's going to be early this season. If he impresses and he plays defense at a high rate and impresses Spo in training camp, he's going to play. It's that simple.
I mean, I think at the bare minimum, he'll get spot minutes in games where Gabe isn't shooting well. Because if Gabe isn't shooting the basketball well, then what does he give you? He gives you fine defense, but Marcus Garrett already comes in the NBA with an elite defensive trait. So if that's all you're going to get from Gabe on a night, why not go to Marcus Garrett? Obviously, he'll be limited with how much he can play because it is a 2-way contract. But I think that that's where he'll get time. And then obviously if there's injuries and things like that, he'll get time there. But pretty much if Gabe has an off shooting night, then it's going to be Marcus Garrett.
Okay, but do y'all feel more confident in Garrett or in Gabe Vincent? Because my thing is okay, we didn't see a great season from Gabe, but also it was a little bit weird of a year. And then he played really well for Team Nigeria. So I don't know. I'm almost more likely to believe in him a little bit more just because he knows the system. He's been around the guys. I feel like it's going to take Garrett a little bit of time.
I mean, yeah, but at the bare minimum, he gives you something that nobody else on the roster can give you at that position, other than Kyle Lowry. But even at this point, Kyle Lowry can only give you so much because of what he's 36, right? So, and I don't even know how old Marcus Garrett is, but he's way younger than 36.
We would hope so. Otherwise, he went to college just a little delayed.
That's a great educated guess there, TJ.
Yeah, somewhere.
Simba, are you higher on Gabe or Garrett at this point?
I'm higher on Gabe just because, like, you kind of made the point. He's been here with us longer, so that's kind of how I'm feeling about it. I'm trying to. I guess you're like holding the spot until Vic comes back. Realistically,
Adam.
Okay, so
you seem most excited about Garrett from all of us. So
yeah.
I'm very excited about him, but if we're gonna be realistic here, I'm going to take the known commodity over the unknown right now. A lot of people, we've seen this time and time again. A lot of people were saying that KZ was better than DJJ when he got drafted. Like the minute he got drafted, people were saying, "Oh, he already took DJJ's spot," and I was saying, "No, we haven't even seen KZ play." And I think this is the same situation. I need to see Marcus Garrett play on the court first before dubbing him, whatever it may be. But there is a backup point available. Like that spot is available until Victor Oladipo decides to take it. So I'm going to go with Gabe Vincent. I would be surprised if Garrett takes any of the minutes before Gabe Vincent. But if there's an injury or two, Marcus Garrett's a starter. You know what I mean? He would be a starter under Spo.
Okay, that's a little bit of a scary thought, though. Like, if that's the team that we're building on and contingent on him being a starter, like, we're not going to get much further than
a starter if there's an injury to like a Kyle Lowry or something. I mean,
don't put that in the universe. This is like when Michael was trying to talk about injuries. What is wrong with y'all?
Rest.
Yeah, it's a scheduled rest. Since y'all want to talk about Depot, though, let's talk about Depot because he literally came out. He's all over the place. He's befriending Kanye, posting Crocs, like new tweet every 5 seconds. Are we excited? How are you feeling? Do you think he's actually going to make a difference? Will he be healthy?
He's got a lot of time on his hands, man. Like that's all I can think right now because you're naming everything he's doing during the offseason. This guy has way too much time on his hands.
That's the stuff he's posting. We don't know about
exactly what's going on in the background.
That's the problem. You're posting all that.
He's getting his singing career ready for the, what's the name of the arena now?
FTX.
Yeah, he's gonna start concerts there every now and then. So he's probably doing like background stuff there. Yeah, he looks like he's in great shape, but shoot, how is that leg gonna hold up? I think that's the biggest question. I'm hoping that there's some way somehow we can get through half the season without really needing him, and then he can play just the rest of the half, relatively healthy, and get rest breaks here and there.
Realistically, though, when are we expecting him back? Because I feel like it's not going to be till January. Adam.
Yeah, I think January is a good time. It seems like he's healthier and he's progressing just based off of his Instagram. We haven't really seen anything else. We don't know whatever's going on. I think we had that one post from the doctor that said that his knee is better than what he expected at this time, and that he wouldn't be surprised if he's back November, December, right? But I think January is a good point for him to be back in the lineup, whether it's as a starter or as a guy off the bench. And I'm very optimistic about Victor Oladipo this upcoming year. I think we'll see a good version of Vic this year.
TJ, thoughts?
Yeah,
that's the most optimistic I've ever heard Adam in my life. So I don't know what's happening here, but
about a guy who's coming off a big injury with a surgery, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, a guy who played 4 games and then nothing.
And then destroyed his knee.
Basically,
it's incredible. But I agree with Adam. Like for the most part, I think he's looked better. I think it's difficult when you listen to athletes talk about how they're going to come back from injury because everybody's always optimistic. They're competitive. Like that's just the way they're built. They always think they can come back and be 100% and give everything. But hearing it from the guy who actually did the surgery, the doctor, hearing okay, he's progressing well, and I don't know, he might be ready by November. I think that's a reach. I want Vic to take as much time as humanly possible because we don't need him in the regular season, quote unquote. We don't necessarily need him. No, when we get to the playoffs, I think if Vic is right, he's the one who tilts the scale towards like we can get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the finals. Like if he's right, that second unit is going to annihilate people because there's nobody in a second unit that can guard Vic if he's okay. So like I think that's the biggest thing, seeing how he comes back. We're going to see early, like if he's got his legs under him, if he's able to get to the rim, like we're going to know if he's right once he does come back. But like I said, I want him to take as much time as possible.
Well, my thing with the doctor, too, is like the doctor's not going to come out and be like,
yeah,
I don't know, guys. He's still not 100%. I don't know if I did a good job. Like, so I get what y'all are saying, but at the same time, I feel like just taking his word for it isn't enough for me. I do think, though, to your point, like rushing it would be crazy, not only for him, but like to your point, we don't need him. So I feel like I would feel most comfortable in January. Like let him come back, acclimate himself. He only played, I think I'm right, 4 games last season. Like chemistry does not have time to build at that point either. So I feel like he really needs to take his time. I'm hoping for the best, but I was right before. So I don't know. I don't want to be right again. We got him for cheap. So I'll take it. But yes, Adam.
And you might be right again. But the other point, if I want to counter your point about the doctor, why talk at all? I mean, why say something at all if you're not confident that he's going to be back in November? November, December, whatever time frame he gave.
Because people are wondering. I mean, that's not that doesn't do anything for me.
You didn't have to post anything or say anything. You could have just kept quiet. And now if he doesn't come back and he doesn't look great the way that he said he would look great. If he doesn't look great, now the doctor looks
then
great.
What? No one's going to come back at this doctor and be like, hey, you
won't get a
job. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter for him. Yeah, maybe, no one else is going to go to him, please. Like, nothing happens to him.
Maybe Vic got him some tickets to a Kanye concert or something, and then he was like, I need you to.
I don't know. This whole Kanye Vic thing is making me very uncomfortable. Like, I just don't like this bromance that's forming. It's just making me feel like, what kind of Vic are we getting this season? Like, he's going to be a man change, and I don't think I like that. Okay, Royal. I'd rather not be right about this one, though.
Oh, man.
I guess my other thing is, like, where do y'all actually see him fitting in with this lineup? Because now I don't feel like it really matters what role he played last season. We have a whole new cast coming in. He is hopefully going to be more explosive on the offensive end anyway. So, I mean, what's his role when he gets back?
I think coming off the bench, like, he's going to pretty much do what he's been doing. He's pretty much going to be like, him and Tyler are going to be able to get whatever buckets they want to get, because you're not relying on Keith or PJ to really get buckets. You're not really relying on Dwayne Dedman. Like, he's the cleanup guy. So it's really on those two to, get the buckets coming off the bench. Vic's going to be able to get downhill. He's the only guy who's able to do it coming off the bench. Like, he's pretty much going to be able to do whatever he was doing last season, just in a different space, like with different players, obviously. I think he's going to run with Bam. He's going to run with Jimmy, like giving those spell minutes for Kyle Lowry, stuff like that. Like still the same Vic, but in a different role.
It's kind of scary though, because we're relying on two people that had not the greatest seasons last year to be our 1-2 punch on the off the bench, right? Like, they're gonna do what they do, like nobody's gonna stop them. Injury stopped Vic, and Tyler just had I don't know what happened. His baby mama stopped him, from performing well.
I am not going to allow this on the show. I will kick you off. Actually, though, I was talking to Michael about this on the pod. People are talking about Kevin Love, but that's my problem too. Thank you. With Kevin Love is that, like, if he's coming on, if we were to take him on and he's coming off for the second unit, like, we need guys who can bring, like, A, their full just health, because we can't keep losing bodies, but B, like, I just feel like half the time when we're playing from behind, it's up to the second unit to get us back there, and that's what we've been lacking. So that does make me nervous too, where if we're relying on these two guys and that's all we're relying on, I think that we have great kind of veterans in Dedman and kind of younger guys that can, like, even Gabe Vincent, right? He can't kind of carry the second squad by himself, but I think he brings enough energy. I wish we had, like, more solid of just at least one guy in that second unit. I don't know how you guys.
Yeah, there's not one guy in this, like, second unit that you can honestly point to and be like, he's going to be able to keep us in at least, X amount of games, like, by himself. There's really nobody right now, which is kind of scary.
I mean, yeah, but like we down bad regardless. It's like who else you gonna get? So,
Yeah.
so if you don't feel good about it, there's nobody else that's gonna come and save you. So you kind of have to feel good about it. You have no choice.
I don't know. I like the fact that this year Tyler has defined role. He knows, from the moment the offseason started, he's known he's going to be coming off the bench. He's going to be leading that as a sixth man, and that he already has the offensive tools to be a creator and a facilitator and a scorer. He already has those tools. We've seen it, right? Now he gets an offseason. Now he has a more defined role. I mean, remember last year there was no offseason, and he was starting. He was coming off the bench. He was starting again. He didn't really have time to prepare or anything. And then the injuries, right? So he's healthy, has an offseason, has a defined role. I like Tyler's odds this year. Outside of that, if Coach Spo can stagger Kyle, Jimmy, and Bam the right way, I'm not really concerned about ball handling. I'm not concerned about scoring when a guy like Jimmy's on the bench, because I trust the Kyle Lowry Bam tandem. I trust that. I trust Kyle Lowry and Jimmy. I trust Jimmy and Bam. You know what I mean? Like, there shouldn't be 2 out of the 3 on the court at some point of the game. Like, you have to have 2 out of the 3 on the court at the same time. And if there's one of them that's on the court, he's your facilitator. Here's your offensive creator. He's the guy. So I think I'm fine in that regard. Defensively, they're going to be a great unit. It's just the actual scoring, the 3-point threat that they need to figure out. They now have a point guard on the roster in Kyle that can actually get players the ball, that can get Bam the ball. But let's not forget that Jimmy can also do that for the bench unit. And he can do that at an elite level. So I'm not really concerned about that aspect, plus with Tyler. So.
Yeah, but that's relying on just Tyler in the second unit.
It's not just Tyler, though. It's like Tyler and Jimmy. Tyler and Ben.
Yeah, he's saying
Tyler
the starter's going to stay back with the second unit when they come.
Yeah, but see, that concerns me because Jimmy might not have that crazy of an injury history, but he also isn't a spring chicken. And if we're trying to make it deeper in the playoffs, I don't think they're going to want to overplay him. I also have been saying this for probably 4 to 5 years now. Spo's rotations, they're hit or miss. So I don't know how he's going to do with this team. Like, there's been times during, especially this past season, that I'm just like, I don't know what you're doing anymore. Like, it seems like he went in with a game plan, he couldn't adjust, and then he just stuck to his guns because he didn't know what to do. So I don't know. I think that we have all the pieces. It's about like how we're going to utilize them best. And, I think no one's really mentioned Keefe or PJ Tucker yet. So I do think that'll play a role in terms of like who's coming off the bench and who's going to bring in, the energy for the second unit.
Or Max Strus.
I forgot about Strus. That's crazy.
It's good to forget about him until the regular season. Then when he shows up, he surprises you. That's a good thing.
Well, apparently Adam looks like him. I can't find the comment now, but someone said that you look like him. So yeah, apparently. Hold on. It's somewhere in here. I'll find it eventually. I don't know if I have any more Heat talk. I have league talk, but if y'all want to talk about anything else with this team, have at it.
Hey, shout out to Kendall.
Oh, there you go. See?
Yeah, I found it.
It's the hair.
I can be if you want. I could be Max Strus. I mean, he was on the network.
They look nothing alike.
I don't.
What the hell are you on right now?
People think I look like Erin Andrews, and we're literally just white women with. She doesn't even have light hair anymore. I don't think so.
No.
People don't know what's up.
I don't think so.
No more Heat. No more Heat talk. I can move on to my league talk because I don't know what else there is to talk about.
Does anyone have questions in the comments about the Heat in particular?
Doesn't seem like it.
Anybody got questions?
Right.
Come on. Would you agree with this? PJ Tucker's an upgrade over Jay Crowder?
No.
Absolutely not. No.
Sorry, Jan Lopez, you're wrong.
we never agree. So the fact that we're all saying this.
It's because Royals.
But Ben Simmons, someone is bringing him up, which is what I was gonna say. Michael. Yeah, where do you think Ben Simmons is going to land? And I will bring it back to the Heat. Does it matter? Like, if he leaves, does that do anything for the Heat in terms of the Sixers.
It might make them better.
Does it?
They don't play well together. Like, I think it's been proven. It depends what they get back.
They don't play well together? The 1 seed didn't play well together?
The 1 seed and then what? Who
The 1
cares?
seed. They got the 1 seed.
Great.
You got to
Good for
figure it
them.
out after that, but they got the 1 seed.
Not nothing.
But were they playing on the court the whole time? Because I honestly didn't really watch them too much.
They were. They had good minutes together, yeah. Ben and Joel, yeah.
They finally figured it out.
There's no way I believe there's no beef. I don't care. He can tweet that and
there's definitely beef. There's definitely beef.
The fact that you need to speak on it shows everything.
I don't think it's like I don't like you beef. I think it's like, why aren't you better beef? I think like they pretty much Joel,
which is why I
Ben
don't
Simmons,
like you.
Exactly.
I don't
Well,
like you because why
technically,
aren't you better?
They came in the league around the same time. Like they were on the same wavelength. Everybody was looking at them the same. Actually, Ben Simmons was looked at as elite earlier than what Joel Embiid was, and then Joel Embiid was second in MVP voting. And it's like, Ben Simmons, you're still the same guy from 2018. What are you doing? So I think it's that type of beef. And that's
I think
why
Ben has beef with Joel too, though. I think it's kind of like, why are you always overweight? Why, like, aren't you training hard? Why can't you play
hard?
Why are you doing something?
Why don't you look like this at every game? Like,
why didn't you dunk? 3 minutes left against the Hawks.
Well, why does it take Shaq and Chuck to tell you to play better for you to play better? Like, it doesn't make
But I don't think that's Ben Simmons' line though. I think that's somebody else's line. I think that's like Doc Rivers' line. Ben Simmons can't use the "why aren't you better" thing because he's not better. He's the same guy. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's ridiculous defensively, but offensively, he's been the same guy since he came into the league. The exact same player.
The thing is, I don't think he cares, and I don't think he's doing anything to work on it, and that's where people are getting frustrated. I don't think it's like a mechanical problem. I also don't think it's a mental block at this point. You could have said that if it was like half a season 1, season 2, whatever, but at this point, it's just like, I don't think you care. I think you're in the league. I think defensively you're strong, and I think you were on a team that kept going far, even if it wasn't in the playoffs. So, like, why change anything?
I have a question for you guys. Do you think that they are better without him? The Sixers.
But it depends.
Actually, let me ask this: do you think that Ben and Joel can ever win a ring?
No.
2 years ago, when Jimmy Butler was on the team, had Kawhi not hit that shot, how far were they going?
I think they could have won.
I don't.
That contradicts yourself, Simba.
No, but that was with Jimmy. Jimmy was the difference.
Right. So, okay, Ben, another player, and Embiid.
But who? You can't just say another player and compare them to Jimmy.
Well, they have assets. They can put together Tobias, draft picks, Tyrese. They could get another player. They don't necessarily have to move Ben in order to win a ring. I think that Ben is a very good player, and he's a player that you can have on a championship winning team. It's just, who do you have around him?
The 76ers also aren't the most functional
they're not.
Team either.
That's why. I think that's the bigger issue, not Ben Simmons. I think the Sixers as a whole, their organization, that's the problem. Ben is a problem, but he isn't the big problem.
Do you think Doc Rivers is the right coach to be with the 76ers?
But he's also a product of the organization. No organization would put up with this. If he was on the Heat, he'd have been gone half a season in. No one would tolerate this. So that they're doing it to themselves.
Does Ben Simmons get a max contract this summer if he were a free agent?
No.
Ooh.
See, you're questioning
so.
it. That he's a good player.
Yeah, the thing.
I'm not questioning if he's a good player. Yeah, it's just he's got limits. He's got his limitations, man. Like, and the shooting thing, it looks great on Instagram all the time, but like when the season starts,
doesn't look great. Look great?
Well, first off, it doesn't even look like he's gonna do it, and then when he does do it, it looks horrible. Like, I think I might shoot better than him.
Like, realistically, the issue isn't like with Ben Simmons. The issue is he's on the team with Joel Embiid. Like, They just so happen to have two superstars. They hit on two draft picks that turned into like really big stars that are terrible teammates. Not terrible teammates. I don't want to say it like that, but like they're a terrible fit with each other. It's the worst fit in the league in terms of like a big two. The worst. It literally, like, there's no shooting for Ben. You don't want Joel Embiid to shoot, but he has to shoot in order to accommodate Ben Simmons. So I feel like if you get them away from each other, they can be put in better situations. But like, it's the worst fit in the league in terms of two of your top guys.
Yeah, but where does he go then?
That's a very good question. I don't know. Send him to Minnesota. That'd be fun.
He deserves to be in Minnesota. He irks me. I'm not a fan.
He feels like a Minnesota player. Like D'Lo feels like a Minnesota guy.
You mean chilling, doing not much, just like
just going with the flow, just vibing.
I'm in the league, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I might have a game today. Go.
Yeah.
No, but like realistically, like I just don't understand who would take him at this point, especially this late, where I feel like teams at this point have like kind of gotten their identities down. They know who they want to be going into next season. There might be like a few things still happening, but like at this point, I feel like bringing him in is a huge move. Who's going to be willing to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would take him, to be honest. I think like you guys said, the Wolves would take him. He's not a bad player. He just has his limitation. He has to have like the right structure built around him. He's not going to be I don't think he's really like he's the best defensive guy. He can go get it at the rim, but other than that, like you're not looking at him to really do much more than that.
Yeah, like Simba said, like look at Giannis. I'm not saying he's Giannis by any stretch of the imagination, but Giannis has the perfect team built around him for him to be successful. To where his limitations, yeah, you see them, but it's not so much so to where it's like this cannot succeed. So you get guys surrounded with him, and then you can turn that into a championship. Whereas Ben Simmons, he has similar limitations. The problem is he's not as good as Giannis. He's not as ridiculous defensively, and he's not obviously as just
unstoppable
unstoppable offensively. So
plus Giannis learned to shoot somewhat, right? Like he did what he could, and in Ben Simmons just.
And even if he's a bad shooter, at least he will pull it. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen a day in my life. But he'll pull it. He won't care. Confidently. He'll take 6 threes. Like, you don't want him to, but he will, bro.
And each three will have like a different form. It'll be like from here to here to here to here to here. As the game goes on, it just gets different.
Let me try this one. Let me try to see how this does.
See if this works. He's just out here trying stuff and still giving you 45. Like, that's so disrespectful.
Oh, man. Go, shout it out, host.
Someone decided to do construction in the apartment above me, which is why I've been like mute for the last few minutes. So if y'all can hear this, I'm sorry. Thank you, Kelvin. He needs to go on a team with shooters where he can just be a facilitator. Sure, but what does that mean? What team? And then my other thing is I'm going to keep harping on this. His attitude is trash. So what team is going to want to take that on and be like, okay, you need to, like, your shot is broken. On top of that, you don't seem to want to do much about it. So we're just going to take you on for your name and hope for the best. Like,
people thought Jimmy Butler had a bad attitude, and I mean, a lot of people wanted him.
Yeah, and I don't think that Jimmy Butler necessarily would have done as well in another environment. I do think that, like, a lot of the time it is just fit, and his kind of, like, he's a little rough around the edges, and I say that in a good way, but I think that just fit with Miami. I don't think that fit with Minnesota. I think he was getting really frustrated in Chicago because the front office, they weren't really doing much to help him. But something about Ben Simmons, it's like there's like a superiority complex about him. And it just irks me because year after year, it's like you're not doing anything to fix your shot. So I don't know where he's going to end up. But I hope it's nowhere where the Heat will be worse off because of it. Otherwise, I don't care.
I mean, I think if we're going to connect this to the Heat, you're going to end up benefiting out of this because you're trading Ben Simmons for 50 cents on the dollar. If we're going to take away something that helps the Heat, it's that. I do think that they're going to end up trading him in the West. Ben Simmons is a great player. If you put him in the West, it's better for Miami. I think the Spurs of all teams should be jumping on this. To me, he feels like a San Antonio player just because
You think Popovich would take
I think Pop would do it.
That BS?
Absolutely not. That's crazy. What makes you think Pop would want to put up with that? Pop's also such a pragmatic type of guy. Like he likes like players in fundamentals. Like he can't even shoot. He literally can't do the basic thing he needs to be doing.
Ben can do everything else. He can do everything else, and I bet you Pop sees. Yeah, he has an elite. He has an elite skill, and he has something that no one else possesses: his height and his ability to dribble the basketball at the speed in which he does. That's elite in itself. Plus his defense. That alone is very enticing to every team in the league. There's no team that won't say that's not enticing to have. So I do see a scenario where the Spurs and Popovich think that they can mold him into something and mold a team around him. So I don't think it's any stretch of the imagination, but I do think he'll end up with Portland.
Oh. What's a trade look like?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
what's a trade look like? I honestly think that Dame ends up in Philly.
Really?
Oh, see, that would hurt us. That would
that would absolutely hurt. Does Dame and Embiid win you a ring?
No, Embiid will never win a ring.
Oh, TJ,
why?
Thinking about it.
That'll win you a ring.
Yeah,
I don't think it wins you a ring either.
You don't think Embiid ever wins a ring?
Nope.
No.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I disagree with that part right there. I mean, it depends on the team that's around him, but I disagree with the fact that Dame and Embiid wins you a ring, but not because of their ability to play with each other. I think it's because of the teams in the West and the Nets and so on and so forth.
I would laugh if Ben Simmons ended up like in Sacramento Kings. That would be hilarious to me. Like where players' careers go to kind of die. Like that would be, and it would work out for everybody.
It works out for the Heat if the Sixers end up getting like De'Aaron Fox, because that's just the pipeline right to Miami.
Oh man.
See, I'm not alone. Someone said Embiid will never get to the finals even.
What are we doing?
Frank.
Why won't he?
DeLuey?
It's just not in the stars for him. I can't explain it. It's just he's not that guy. He's like that almost guy. You know what I mean? Like he'll just be a career almost.
Is it because of his crying face?
It's just because I don't like him, so I don't want it for him. Basically,
well, almost.
What?
Who else is a career almost?
Is James Harden almost?
But I would rather him than Embiid.
Jimmy?
What about Jimmy?
I hope he gets a ring.
Right, but do you think he's going to be a career almost?
I don't think he's at an almost even yet, though.
Oof.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, like I don't
enough to be an almost.
No, but I'm saying I don't think he's gotten there yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Embiid's like he should have already at least been further along, whereas I don't think Jimmy has reached that potential yet. This does transition me well, though, into the next point that I was going to make. Ethan decided to tweet out that the Nets roster is better off than the Lakers, and I take great offense to that, but I want to hear what y'all think because I don't agree at all.
Where are the Lakers getting the money from? I'm just so confused.
Where are the Lakers getting the roster spots? I feel like there's 55 players on their roster.
Every time they sign, I'm like, I thought they were done. Like, how? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what's going on? This is obvious tampering. What the hell is going on?
Do you think that they're better than the Nets, though? Am I crazy?
No, I don't think they're better than the Nets.
Adam, TJ, anyone? When I saw this, I was like, what are you tweeting, Ethan?
But I'm taking the Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Lakers over the Nets.
TJ's go ahead.
No, like I'm like, why? Like what about the Lakers roster? I mean, granted, they have more stuff. I can't disagree with that. They have
it's not even about that
stuff. What is it about that?
It's not even about it's about LeBron and LeBron. Like that's what it's about.
What about KD?
Right. Now
I would take in a 7-game series, if it's like LeBron versus KD, I'm taking LeBron. Add AD on top of that. No one's guarding AD on the Nets. And I get the point that they have Kyrie and they have James Harden, but I'm still taking LeBron.
Right. I understand that. But I'm just thinking in terms of like all the put everything together, right? I just think the Nets healthy, they put out too much points. They just that's just what they do. If they can't do anything else, they can score the ball. They can score whenever they want. I don't even know what their points per possession was, but I'm sure it was something ridiculous when everybody was healthy because they can get a bucket every time down the floor if they really want to. And then you watch what KD did by himself. There should be no reason he wins any playoff game with the roster the Nets have because everybody was talking about their depth was garbage. And KD won a game with them. Jeff Green playing out of his mind. Like, it took all of that. So I just think with all of the stuff, with everything the Lakers did, I just think the Nets are just too much offensively. You can do whatever you want with the Lakers. They're old. I'm not saying that the Nets are young or anything like that, but that's a very old team.
The Nets are as old in terms of injuries.
Yeah, like they get injured a lot.
Right. But you're talking it's different skill sets. They can be as injured as they want to be and as old as they want to be, but they're top 5 all offensive weapons in the NBA. All of them. All 3 of them. Versus the Lakers, LeBron can be your driving force, right? And AD can be a top 5 player. But then it's like you gotta get a bunch of pieces to work together in order to get what the third guy is giving you in Brooklyn.
But see, I feel like it's plug and chug for the Lakers. They have so many options that regardless of what's going on health-wise or who they're playing against, like they can figure something out. I feel like the Nets, everything is coming down to those 3. And like if something goes wrong, then what?
It's not even those 3. It's KD.
Well,
If something goes wrong with KD, it's done. You can make this case that if something goes wrong with LeBron, it's done. But I'm betting that LeBron will be healthier than KD.
Well, I also think LeBron's going to rest more. I don't really see KD necessarily falling into that, where I do think LeBron like understands his limitations at this point, which is why they built the team the way they did. So I feel like he's going to be a lot more rested.
He's already been doing it. He's been doing it for the last 2-3 seasons. So
now, if we're betting on who can make it to the finish line, like the most intact, then I'm a bet on the Lakers. But if both of them make it healthy and they're good to go, all things even, I'm going to take the Nets. They just put out too much.
Healthy. If both teams are completely healthy, you see, the way I look at it is which team has more athletic freaks, and I think the Lakers do. Like which team has the force of nature, and that's Russ, AD, and LeBron. All 3 of them are bigger freaks than those 3 on the Nets, and that's what I'm taking. It's just brute force.
I mean, yeah, that is true. I'm interested to see what the Lakers look like actually on the court because we've talked about it ad nauseum. NBA Twitter's talked about it ad nauseum. Like the spacing is going to be rough. I think they'll figure it out. But in terms of like a half court playoff setting, that's what I'm really concerned about because Russ playing off ball can look good if this was 5 years ago and he's as bouncy as he wants to be, but he's lost some athleticism. Obviously, he wants to get to that mid-range jumper. Obviously, he didn't get to the rim as effectively as he did once in his career last year. So somebody's gonna have to play off ball, and it's not gonna be LeBron James. So I'm interested to see how it works in a half court setting.
This is literally what I was going to say. Like, I feel like having LeBron, you have LeBron as a player, and then you have LeBron as a coach. Thank you for the dono. LeBron is a player coach. Everyone he has played with plays better. He is the river that raises all boats. Can you say the same of KD? Which I don't think you can. I think KD brings something super special offensively. And I think that, you do need him more than the other 2, but I also think that what LeBron brings, even from the sidelines, even on a night of rest, like it's just there's no comparison there. So I do think that also helps the Lakers too. That was all I have for the rundown, but we're only at 39 minutes, so.
Alrighty.
We can transition back into the Heat.
We
can just talk about where did the Heat play into all of this in the playoffs? What do you guys think? We can start with Allana.
Lakers are taking the ship, so I don't.
I mean, but in the East, what do you think? Do you think it's going to be Heat Nets, Bucks Nets? What do you think?
I think it really depends on how healthy we can stay. I don't have as much faith in the Nets as other people do, only because they're so injury prone. We have the weaponry to like go head to head. It's just a matter of health. I also don't know if I feel like the Bucks are gonna be able to do the same thing. Like I feel like the Bucks were one and done because it was a weird year and everything was clicking for them at the same time. Can they replicate that? I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is I think the Heat are going to take third in the East regular season. After that, I don't know.
I thought the Heat were probably going to go like fourth or fifth. To be honest, I see the Bucks being better than the Heat still, just by a little bit. Nets still a little bit better. And the 76ers, they just always seem to give us problems, except for the year that we went to the final, basically.
What?
I don't know. Maybe I have ghosts. I don't know. Are you sure it's swinging?
I didn't see anything.
I'm just going to watch it the rest of the show. I'm just going to stare at it.
No. If it is swinging, please donate some money so that I can call the Ghostbusters.
Okay, Kendall really wants us to answer this because he just hit our thread. So how can I deny a fellow Leo?
Would you rather fight a chicken every time you enter the car or an orangutan?
Obviously the orangutan. I'm not trying to deal with a chicken every day.
No. I'll fight a chicken every day.
Absolutely not. Are you crazy?
No. An orangutan can like rip off your arms.
A chicken can claw you. Those nails are disgusting. They can scratch your eyeballs out. Absolutely not.
I'd rather fight a chicken.
Nails.
Plus,
also,
you have
feathers all over my car, over my dead body.
You have food all year long if you have to fight a chicken every day. Come on.
Wait a minute.
That's Chick-fil-A out of your trunk.
I am never eating Chick-fil-A again now. Thank you.
You set up a grill in your trunk. You get a sign. You put it on top of the car. Allana's chicken. Just
fresh chicken.
The feathers alone in my car is a no. I will fight the orangutan. Thank you.
You do a subscription at one of those car wash places, and they clean your car like as many times as you want.
Imagine going in every day. What are these feathers? Don't worry about it.
You offer them chicken.
Who said I want to kill the chicken?
You can.
Okay, if you're fighting a chicken, you're going to kill it.
It says fight. It doesn't say would you rather kill one or the other.
Okay, fight it, right? And then like cage it and sell it.
No, fight it, kill it, eat it.
I am now vegetarian. Thank you very much.
How are you going to fight an orangutan? Like that dude, that thing is going to kill you. It is not like the Jungle Book. They don't just sing and dance.
Okay, but
you're talking to Simba, he would know.
They throw shit at you. Like what?
I feel like it would be easier to befriend them than the chicken, though. You can be friends with them.
With an orangutan?
Yeah, it'd be way easier to do than a chicken.
You were told.
Let me ask you this:
if you just give them your phone and they'll play.
If I was gonna throw you in a cage or something, would you rather be with an orangutan that has never been domesticated or anything, or a chicken?
An orangutan. There's no way I want to.
No,
that's no way.
There's no way.
Y'all are wildin'. Are you serious? Do you know how like flighty chickens are? Have you ever gotten close to one? They freak out.
I think you need to start watching Animal Planet. You watch way too much MTV. You need to watch because you have no idea what these orangutans are capable of.
What if it's a baby? He didn't specify.
Now we're killing baby orangutans.
I didn't say kill. No one said to kill either one.
I need to make some phone calls. This is ridiculous.
No, what have you done? I feel I should not have listened to you. Where were we before this interruption?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a fair question. I mean, I just
there's only one right answer. Y'all are wrong.
No, fighting the chicken.
I see the reasoning for an orangutan. I see it.
It's once a year versus every day of a flighty chicken.
Do you get weapons? Do you get weapons? Or is it barehanded?
I don't know.
You get gloves. You get gloves. That's it.
You get gloves. That's all you get.
Gloves and a bodysuit. That way you don't get dirty.
The chickens also lay eggs in your car. I don't want that.
Alana.
That's fresh food.
No, I'm not eating eggs that just
That's not
flop in
food
my
you have
car.
to fight either.
Why am I fighting for my food now?
I don't even think I'm gonna
that off.
If I'm gonna get a chicken in my car every day, I don't even think I'm gonna enter. I'm just gonna let them keep putting chickens in my car and just keep selling them, and that's it. And sell them by the car. I got 100 chickens in this car. Boom.
You're gonna buy another car then with the money you made?
How much can you get for a chicken? Like
Nothing.
At least $200, no?
For a chicken?
For one live chicken?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's worth the drive. That's worth the drive.
It's worth the drive.
What? I drive where?
You
All
drive
right,
to the place where you sell chicken.
Maybe if you get $100, then for 100 chickens, I just made 10 grand. Like, boom.
Who's putting this chicken in your car? That's really what I want to know.
Kendall.
Who is Kendall coming every day with the chicken?
Kendall puts this.
Kendall puts it. So that changes things. Now Kendall is going to be
This
at your
scares me
house.
that someone knows that I eat eggs every day and I need to like privatize my life a little bit. I do, but I don't want eggs being dropped in my car and then me eating them off that. Like that's a whole different story.
Does it change if you know that Kendall's going to your house every day with chickens? Or with it's kind of creepy if like you got somebody coming to your house every day. Like
yeah, and he'd have to go to my car and I park in a different building. So now it gets really interesting.
I don't know. Are we gonna have to talk to Kendall after this now?
Probably.
Kendall, give us another one.
I don't drive a Nissan, first of all.
Oh man.
There's the answer.
You can't get a chicken for $5 in Highland. Maybe like a chick, but not a whole chicken.
A chip I would not mind in my car if we're going this route. A baby little fuzzy one, I can take that.
Okay, and you don't want to mess with the chickens from Hialeah because those will actually kick your ass.
All of them would. They
No, the ones
spaz
from
out
Hialeah.
when you get close to them.
The ones from Hialeah, those are like this big. Their claws are like all bloody because from all the
The claws, that's what I'm saying.
Would you rather fight 20 10-year-olds or 3 16-year-olds?
The 16.
No, the 10-year-olds.
I have tactics. I feel like I could win them over.
No, it says fight. It doesn't say.
I don't want to
would
fight. I want to be
you
friends.
No, it doesn't say would you have a conversation. It says will you fight
No, I don't listen to rules. I'm just going to change the process
to the death.
what I
And
want.
it says to
This
the
is
death.
Clutch Corner.
It's
This is
underlined.
when Royal asks the question.
This is when I evade the actual thing on deck and I just make it my own. I don't drive a Honda Civic either. You can keep guessing though. Or a Hyundai.
What would you guys do? The 20 10-year-olds or the 3 16-year-olds?
20 10-year-olds. One kick.
I want to smoke with some 10-year-olds.
No, I want the
I want
16-year-olds.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I'm with Allana. Give me the 16-year-olds.
No,
I
20
want the
10-year-olds. 10-year-olds. And
20 of them?
Dress up
Yeah,
as like
20
your- you
Okay,
dress up as your
20 of them
favorite
coming
superhero.
at you at the same time?
Yeah.
No, you dress up as their favorite superhero, like Spider-Man.
Wait a
you
minute,
just
wait a
kick
minute,
their
wait a minute.
ass, and
No,
then
wait a
they're
minute,
just
wait a
like,
minute.
"Holy shit, my favorite superhero!" Like,
See,
her.
look, TJ's thinking about
I'm
it.
gonna. I'm gonna have to go.
I don't want a
with your-
stampede of 10-year-olds running at me. Like,
You're right.
It's one kick. It's one kick.
It's
That's a
not
lot of
one
10-year-olds.
kick,
Y'all
though.
are really off on your car guesses, and it makes me sad. Sorry.
That's a lot of 10-year-olds. So
All right, look, Kendall's changing it to 3 16-year-olds that are 5-star recruits out of high school.
5-star recruits in what sport?
In what?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
about to say in what sport? Because if it's
In-
like
in
water
rugby.
polo,
In
I'll
They
bet
could
you-
be swimmers or
In
track
rugby?
and field.
In rugby.
In
rugby?
rugby, give me the 16-year-olds.
For sure, me too.
What?
Give me the 16-year-olds.
All right, in football.
Yeah, anyone.
Depending on position, give me the 16-year-olds.
Yeah,
I'm not fighting 3 16-year-olds.
All right,
I
guys,
will
we have
fight.
bills to pay. This seems like a good time. Simba, our newest sponsor, Underdog.
Hold on, go with somebody else first. I'm not ready. I'm
Adam,
pulling up pictures.
Vertigear.
Okay, Vertigear. What can I say about this chair? I brought it with me to Boston. Yes, I left where I was previously living, and now I'm in Boston, and I couldn't leave without this great Vertigear chair that I believe 3 out of the 4 of us are sitting in. depending on Simba, if he likes his vertigo chair or not.
I don't have a vertigo chair.
So the two of us, Allana, are sitting in our vertigo chairs. I gotta say, it is the most comfortable chair that I've ever sat on. I wouldn't have brought it up with me if I didn't think that this was the case. You can get it in a bunch of different colors. You can get some with lights on it, and they're affordable. Use the link in the description below, and if you actually DM us separately, we actually have a 15% discount that we can offer.
If you DM us separately, all right.
Or if you DM me or the Clutch Corner.
Yeah, don't DM me. That's okay. Simba, you ready?
Yeah, let's go. What are we talking about?
Underdog, a very exciting new announcement. New sponsor.
Very, very exciting. Underdog is the best new way to play draft for football, basketball, everything. This is something generic. Nope. So let's talk about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the best and easiest place to play fantasy football for big cash prizes. On Underdog Fantasy, you'll just draft. No need to worry about waivers, lineups, or injuries. So I'm playing in a league with Adam Barai, and he's trying to give me a bad trade. You don't even have to worry about that if you're playing Underdog. I got some other people in here. Gad, he's trying to give me a bad trade as well. No, you're not taking Patrick Mahomes for Jalen Hurts. That just doesn't make sense. That's a bad trade. So make sure you go to Underdog Fantasy, download the app, and if you use the code 5RSN, they're going to give you $25 when you sign up, so you can get a free shot to win a $1 million grand prize. I actually think it's up to $3 million now, so go ahead, download the app, use the code 5RSN, and get a shot at $3 million. And if you win, it's in the guidelines. You have to donate money to us after. Enough so that we can get all these chickens and orangutans, because it's going to be very expensive to try this out in real life.
Love it. Go play. You literally get $25 for free, so you have nothing to lose, basically.
Have you played yet, Allana?
I'm waiting till the NBA season, just for the better of everyone, I think. But I had a great time with everyone on the stream the other night, so there's that. TJ?
All right. Therapist Preferred. What a company. They were established in 2019 before the world went to hell.
Are you using it right now?
No, sir. I'm thriving. I'm doing well. But for those who do suffer from anxiety and have trouble sleeping, it is a CBD company that was established in 2019 by a physical therapist who wanted to boost performance as well as boost recovery. It's very safe. It's 100% THC free. And I think it's third-party lab approved, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is. So yeah, if you have anxiety, if you have trouble sleeping, please feel free to use Therapist Preferred. You can go on their website, type in 5 reasons, all one word, to get 25% off of your order, and all shipping is free. So yeah,
that just makes it worth it.
I would like to point before we end the show, I recommend everybody go tune into the Extra Yard. They're midway through their episode right now. So as soon as we end this broadcast, please, there's 100 people in this show right now. Please go to the Extra Yard. They are doing amazing stuff. So check them out.
I mean, I'll finish with Manscaped. Y'all know what to do. Just go get all the products. There's a new bundle. I'm sure there'll be a new lawnmower coming out soon. Got deodorant, toner, whatever else you need. Your balls will thank you. And you can get, I think, 20% off with the code 5RSN. So plus free shipping. So go make everyone in your life and yourself happy. Your balls will thank you. I think that's all for tonight.
Well, close us out, Allana.
Good night, y'all.